Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? It's Hens back with another video, and in today's video, we're going to be kind of discussing some of the topics that I brought up in my last couple of videos about the state of the game with an EA Glazer, as he let me call him. And then we're also he's really good at the game and he's very knowledgeable of the game, so we're gonna also go over some stuff about, tricks going into the fantasy event, but that'll be in the second half of the video. But yeah, this is Matt. I'll let him introduce himself. He'll probably make an appearance in more videos, but yeah, I'll let him introduce himself and he can kind of give you guys a rundown.
What's up, guys? Yay, Glazer here. You can also call me Matt, like you said. My gamer tag is Tappy, so you can also call me Tappy. Anyway, I'm a mod in Hence's server. Right now, I'm Cop Eater for anybody that's in there and recognizes me. I change my name pretty often, but yeah, I've been helping out with some stuff behind the scenes as a mod for a while now, and I've been learning some stuff about the game over time, and I think I can offer some insight. So here I am.
Yeah, so he is somebody who's, taken a really big liking to this game right away. He's kind of the opposite of me. He kind of sees in this specific example that he's like the glass half full kind of guy, and I'm the glass half empty kind of guy. So we're gonna just have like a, I don't want to really call it like a debate, but like a kind of like a back and forth kind of talking about each of our perspectives on the game, just so we can appeal to larger audiences. And for some of those who may like the game, like Matt, you guys might find value in this video, kind of understanding what other people think about the game who also like it. And then for those who don't like it, you'll get the perspective of somebody who does like it, and maybe you'll have a more positive outlook on the game, as I kind of do right now. Coming out of this video, and that's kind of the goal of this video. So Matt, I'll let you, kind of open up because I've already said my piece, but I know you watched the video, specifically the first video that I released, kind of the more passionate video. So I'll let you kind of go over some of your thoughts about the video and your thoughts about the game in general.
I think no matter what'll happen, like if you're already in kind of like a bad state of mind where you're not really enjoying a lot of the gameplay or things aren't going the way that you're expecting them to, I think that sort of thing will be really frustrating, and especially when it's like so different from last year and the previous years in general. Like the hitting, a lot of the time when things aren't going the way that you expect them to, your instinct will be to kind of blame the hitting, blame all these differences, say they took a step back and stuff like that. But for a lot of people, myself included, it kind of comes down to sort of giving it a chance, learning the hitting, um, and then as that happens, you'll learn. I mean, a lot of people are saying hitting's actually OP, while other people are saying you can't even hit in this game. So um, for hitting specifically, I think you can try different things. I've gone back and forth between the circle and the skill stick on what I use for the hitting. Personally, I really like the skill stick at the moment. Just like hitting with the right stick is perfectly fine. It's important to note that directing the hit is with the left stick. I feel like that sometimes gets missed in communication. Sometimes I didn't realize that at first, where I was just going with the right stick and pull it back and then aim with the right stick towards the guy that I'm hitting. It's the left stick that aims it towards the player. And a lot of the time, you're just gonna try to hit their shoulder sometimes, but they'll just kind of zoom past you, and like, yeah, you got to be more precise with the hitting. I think that's a pretty good change all around. Obviously, there are some kinks in the game. Uh, the pressure system has some stuff that is obviously not the most balanced stuff in the world. Computer penalties are annoying. The goaltenders let in some weak goals, but for the most part, a lot of the changes are in a pretty cool direction. And it's probably like simpler things that they can fix at this point. And I think it's important to realize that things have been overhauled so greatly, um, and that's the stuff to focus on, because the main thing was the foundation of stuff like that. And I'm excited for the direction, and I think a lot of other people should be, and not focus as much on the stuff that isn't perfect right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I guess kind of my rebuttal to that, we were talking a little bit earlier before this video started about some of these points, but kind of the rebuttal that I came up with to that point was that last year was basically a throwaway year. As many of you guys know, NHL 23 was probably the worst NHL game of all time, and I don't think that's really that debatable. But what I will say is that when you have a game like that that you invest time in for a year and are told by multiple sources that you know what it's going to be okay, next year is going to be so much better, we're going to take so many steps forward next year, and then when this year's game comes out and you're like, damn, it's better, but it's really not that much better. There's a lot of the same problems that were evident in 23, and then beyond that, that's more on the gameplay side. But then on terms of the content side, at least, especially at the start, the content was just not put handled properly. It was not put out well, and even now, like some stuff, it just it kind of makes me question what these people do every day with their lives, sitting in their office. Like, why are you releasing three moments cards for 40 games of hockey that were played over the weekend, and all three of them are 80 and 81 overall? So to me, like that stuff kind of doesn't make sense. And I think that stuff should have been changed. And then the other part of the things that think should have been changed are the game modes. They really didn't add anything to the game modes. Moments to me is a hot fix at best. Same with Objectives 2.0. It's literally a hot fix. They could have done that all like at the start of the year last year, and nobody would have said anything. It would have been like a who cares kind of idea. So those two things are kind of gimmicky to me, and those are really the main things that they were pushing for this game, like in terms of actual content. So I think that what we expected from this game and what we got were just so wildly different that I think even though this game is objectively better, I just don't think it was enough better for me to be happy with what we got, I guess.
And yeah, I mean, I think the expectation after NHL 23 to have a proper finished product is something that a lot of people had coming in here. But I think when you're really looking at it and seeing all the massive overhaul that's in this game, I mean, I can only imagine how much time just went into like the goalie tethering and trying to balance that to begin with. And obviously, that's probably the thing that went the worst. That's going to be fixed a little bit so that you can customize the controls. And I think that's probably a good example of something that they're willing to hear the community, and they're fixing that long term. Between that and hybrid controls and stuff like that, they've already worked to fix the pressure system in a positive way. I think there's a lot that they can do with that. But coming into this game, you have new hitting, you have new controls, you have the pressure system and stuff like that, and especially how the goalies work and everything. So, I mean, you're bound to kind of have in a game that has all of these new things. Not everything's going to be perfect, and I think it's really edge cases that are issues here. I think some of the bigger issues are probably like line changes and computer penalties and stuff like that to me. But I think a lot of it you can probably expect changes in the future, because I think most of them are oversights. I think a lot of the focus coming into this game was the massive overhauls and stuff like goaltending and the pressure system and stuff like that. And you're already seeing them kind of fix some of the smaller things that they missed before releasing the final product. As far as content goes, I'm in agreement on stuff like moments. I just don't think that's that big of a deal, and I think you're already seeing as moments come out that they don't have that pre-game presentation that's supposed to be such a big deal. Like that's not in all of them. That's not something that they're going to be able to sustain, and I don't think that they need to, right? But I don't think that's really something to focus on as much as the revamped team builders. I think the HUD Champs rewards are good. They listen to the community immediately on the Rivals rewards. I think they launched that pretty poorly with the gold collectibles and stuff like that. But I think the idea with the gold collectibles and diamond collectibles and stuff like that, I think with a little bit more refinement, which we've already seen, I think it's perfectly fine. There's some confusion going into it, but it's nothing to be up in arms about. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything crazy bad about the content this year. I think there's reason to complain about 280s and an 81 coming out for the live moments and stuff like that. But that the content will be hit and miss. I don't think it's necessarily horrible right now. I kind of think it's in an okay spot, especially with like they listen to you with team builders, with power up icons, stuff like that. I think XFactors are actually worthwhile right now. So Yeah, I don't know. I again, like you said earlier, maybe a glass half full kind of perspective, but I think it's kind of important to at least hear this other perspective, so you kind of look at it and don't go like, all of this is objectively terrible. Like there's some more to it, right?
Yeah, and I understand a lot of those points, and I kind of see where you're coming from. I just don't totally agree, obviously, with them. But I think that's okay. I think not agreeing on everything is what is gonna initiate change in the game for the better. Like if a lot of people agree that something is good and I'm the only one that thinks it's bad, then obviously keep it. But if there's a lot of people that think something's bad and it sparks debate, and then maybe you kind of like take out all the parts that are like really bad so that the good parts still stay and some of the bad parts go. And I guess that's kind of what we see with the X Factors right now, is that now every team has an X Factor. So there wasn't really a problem with X Factors before. It's just that they were a little bit too expensive. But now that every team has an X Factor, you can kind of play your, you can choose who you want on your team. And for me, like I have Suzuki all year now, rather than not having an X Factor at all last year, other than like McDavid. So I think like that's kind of an example of something that the community kind of talked it out and figured out what was bad, really bad about X Factors, and kind of the debate kind of changed their path, and I think it's for the better. But yeah, those are like kind of the main points. I guess the last thing that I wanted to bring up about this game is, for me, for somebody who doesn't have a ton of time to invest into this game, and who pretty much spends most of their free time actually playing the game. I'm somebody who's never in Rivals got more than silver. As you saw from my record, I was kind of just trying to move around the screen so you weren't staring at the same thing the whole time. I've not got higher than silver in Rivals over the last two Rivals things, and I've played about 55 games so far this year, and I would say a good 50 of them are from Rivals. I think I played four Champs games so far, so yeah, so 50 of them are from Rivals, and I've still only got silver, so that's like averaging out to 25 a week. I've only got silver in Rivals, and I just think that playing 25 games should yield you better rewards than a couple players packs and a few collectibles. Like I just don't think that time investment is worth it for most people, and I would like to see them change that reward system for the better. What do you think, Matt?
I think I agree. I think that the reward system can be changed. I do think that a lot of the issues that you brought up, though, are very much at their worst here. Um, at the beginning of the year, you have the squad battles where a ton of people are playing because they want the extra rewards to kind of get their team off the ground. And the same sort of thing happens with rivals, where people just picked up the game, they want to play more rivals, and on top of that, champs isn't there at the beginning of the game, and part of the reason champs isn't there at the beginning of the game is because people can't qualify right away for champs. There would be a smaller portion of the player base in champs, and so, yeah, you have a lot of people in rivals, more competition for it. It's harder to hit diamond or especially ultimate, and so it's harder to get rewards early in the year. But yeah, I mean, you see people in the Discord sometimes they'll be citing the issues with squad battles where it's really hard to get like even elite three in squad battles. But this is all really kind of early game stuff. This will all be toned down as as less people are grinding out all these modes, and as champs finally integrates into the game now, where people aren't going to be spending as much time in rivals and squad battles. So yeah, so I think I would probably change the rewards at the end of the day. I think there's probably a better system out there right now, but everything's just kind of worse at the beginning of the year because of HUD champs and stuff like that. So I think all these issues that you're bringing up right now, they won't really be there in November or December. So obviously, maybe a change for next year, but HUD champs is here now, so I don't think you're going to have as many issues moving forward.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That I think this year it's the most concentrated, or this time of the year it'll be the most concentrated that it'll ever be for Rivals. So maybe a month from now, 20 games of Rivals would get me gold or platinum, but right now it's just everybody's only playing Rivals, so it's getting me silver. And I think that I'd rather have that at the start of the year than at the end, like the middle of the year, where I'm getting silver, because silver rewards just suck, especially if it's the middle of the year. At the start of the year, at least gold players are still currency, but Yeah, I agree with you. Like the system could be so much better, but you know what? It should get better during the year in terms of the system that we have, and I think, like you said, right now is the worst of the worst. But with that being said, let's look to some more optimistic things, and let's look at the new event that's coming out because there's been some stuff that we've seen over the past few years of playing the game, or I've seen, and Matt has also brought up after playing the game for a long time last year, that we think that could benefit you guys heading into the fantasy event, in terms of different rewards to take and like what to look for and stuff like that. So Matt had a good point, and I'll let him bring that up first here. So yeah, Matt, take it away.
I think you'll notice as the year goes on, you're pulling X Factors a little bit less. And there's actually a reason for that. And it's because, when you're playing Hut Champs, a lot of the time the packs that you're getting are Ultimate packs, Ultimate Choice packs, Jumbo Premium packs. And the big thing with those is they give you, 20 cards, all 20 are 80 plus players. Um, Ultimate Choice pack, it's 15. But it's the same sort of thing, right? And then Jumbo Premium, I think it's like 18 out of the 20. But in fantasy or with X Factors, these players are not actually 80 overall, but you probably want to pull them, right? So especially during fantasy, I think you want to be focusing on packs that have a high volume of gold players and players in general, but aren't just like limited to 80 plus. So don't focus as much on the Ultimate Choice pack, especially now that it's more Hut Champs collectibles. I think if you really want to go for a pack, the Mega Players pack is really really good. As Sense has on the screen right now, it's two collectibles, which is really cheap, and it gives you, I believe it's 30 golds, and or at least 30 players, and only like 5 of them are 80 plus. And so the odds of getting a fantasy player are probably pretty decently high compared to the 0% chance that you have with an ultimate pack or ultimate choice pack, and it's a third of the cost. So I would recommend going for that if you can. If you're in Div 2 or Div 1, get one like as soon as you can with the champs collectibles that you've been getting. But if not, just focus on that when this champs week ends, and you'll have the collectibles off the rewards. Go for the Mega Players pack, maybe even the Elite pack, because you'll have a better chance of pulling the cards that you actually want right now. Same thing goes for the store. Focus on packs that aren't focused on 80 plus. Obviously, we can go to the store right now and see what's there, but it'll be different on the week, so you're going to have to evaluate it when that happens. But yeah, Jumbo Elite Players pack. That's a perfect option most of the time. Right now, no. Mini Ultimate pack, that one also has 90. They're all 80 plus. You're not going to get a fantasy card unless, like last year there was an 84 overall Fowler. That might be here, but a lot of the 70s, like, I mean, like Braden Point was a 70 something, right? So you're never going to get that. So just something to keep your eye out for. And again, on top of that, you have the opportunity to actually pull an X Factor. So I think that's probably the way to go, if you ask me.
Yeah, and another thing that I want to say, like even beyond that, is I kind of brought this up in a previous video. It wasn't like the most viewed video that I've ever had or anything, but I did say that those Mega Players packs, if you are ever gonna spend coins on packs, those are the packs to do it because you're more often than not obviously not gonna make a profit from those packs. But the amount of coins that you're losing on those packs is so much less than like an ultimate pack or something like that. Because if you're getting 30 gold players, the chances of you, even if you pull nothing, you're getting at least like 40k back from that pack, and I think it's like 55k to buy. So like, and then if you do pull like an X Factor or something, then you're in profit there. So those packs are like to me the best value packs in the game, to be honest. If you want guaranteed coins, obviously they don't have the upside of an ultimate choice pack or like an ultimate pack or something like that, but in terms of like just pure like you want to be as risk averse as possible and you want to get these packs, then I would say those packs are probably the best ones to go ahead and invest in if you are looking at the champs rewards, especially if you're not getting like you're not an 11 wins player. I would say definitely instead of like going over here, if say you got, I think it's 8 wins will get you 4 collectibles or something like that. Let's just say 8 for this example. Instead of going over here and saying, oh, I want an ultimate pack because I have a good chance of pulling something great, I also don't think it's a bad option if you're low on coins and you just want those guaranteed coins to come over here to the Mega Players pack and just make 2 of these. Even beyond the fantasy event, I think it's not a terrible idea. Just because you have the chance of pulling XFactors too. So yeah, I think that these packs are very underrated for what they are, and they're definitely a very good pack in terms of just the pure currency of gold players and NHL players that you get for team builders, and this year also for icons. So these packs are great value, especially this year. So yeah, keep your eyes out for those. And then another point that I wanted to kind of discuss going into the fantasy event, there's kind of 2 things that I want to discuss. The first one's a little bit shorter. It's just that I would recommend if you're gonna get like ultimate rivals. So for me in Division 3, if you're gonna be getting ultimate rivals here, oh, this is the wrong screen. I wanted to look at the rewards. If you're going to get ultimate here and you're going to get an ultimate pack and a jumbo NHL players pack, well, I would recommend probably opening those right now. You could wait till the fantasy event too, but chances are you're not going to pull fantasy players like Matt said. But if you're like me and you're getting somewhere around like platinum to silver, or even gold, then yeah, I would just say hold on to those packs. Elite packs actually probably aren't worth it to hold on to just because the players that you get from those packs are all 80 plus. But just as a general rule of thumb, going into this event, if you have packs that are super solid, I would say either hold them for the next event after this one, or you can open them now if you want to try to get a chance of pulling the MSPs right now. But any packs that are have a high yield of below 80
That one's
overall
perfect.
players, yeah, like the
The
players
silver
pack
one,
here. Yeah,
back jumbo premium pack
yeah,
for sure.
exactly. So that's what I would say about that. And then regarding the market, I guess I could quickly get into this. I would say quickly just the trends of the market are going to be the top tier cards that are going to be in the same price range as the Evo cards. I think they're going to come down in price. So like the Lemieux, the Gretzky, and the McDavid, I guess are really the only 3 that are kind of in that price range right now. Maybe even McCarr's X Factor. Those cards I think are going to come down in price initially when the event first drops because people are going to be scrambling to go out and buy those cards in the market because they are the best value when the event is out. Because they'll be the cheapest because there'll be so much supply and they'll go up in price. Almost every single one of them last year doubled in price. So it's a good opportunity to buy if you have a lot of coins. Just buy the cards, don't make them untradeable. Yeah, so I think that the top end is going to crash, but I think that people are going to get discouraged by the cost of them right away. That I think that fodder might actually come down in price on Friday during the day, or like during the like right after the event comes out, going into Saturday. I think fodder is going to come down because people aren't going to be like they're going to be like, oh, I can't afford to make these cards anyway. What's the point of me buying fodder? I think fodder is going to come down because that's what happened last year, and then as we approach the end of the event, so going into like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday area, I think fodder's going to go back up as people are going to be like, okay, yeah, maybe now's the time that I want to build these cards because they're going out of packs now, and they're going to try to panic and kind of buy those cards up. So that's what I think what's going to happen on the market. Matt, do you have any ideas of what you think is going to happen?
No, I mean, yeah, you mostly hit the nail on the head because I mean, a lot of the people probably in the comment section of this video, I don't know how many of you are going to be able to afford a an MSP for an Evo event. This is all, by the way, assuming that it is Friday. I think it's very likely that it is. Uh, but yeah, I mean, buying all that fodder, going poor just to buy one of those MSPs. Hell, maybe even week 1 you won't love the MSP. So a lot of the time, I think you can expect it to the fodder to drop a little bit as that part of the player base isn't really looking to buy fodder, more so looking to sell fodder. So um, yeah, I think that's probably the right take to have. But I think as the event goes on, it should slowly creep back up. But honestly, I think at the end of the day, what you should be focusing on is just kind of getting your coin stack up. If you're holding any players right now, maybe now's not the time to have that. If you have tradable players on your roster, maybe try to sell them overnight or something like that when you're not using them, and then buy them when they're cheaper. Um, that would probably be the recommendation at this point. And yeah, the market expects some fluctuations as Evo comes out, but just be excited for the event because it's always a fun time of the year. see what player on your team gets a card, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that in terms of what you guys should be doing going into the event to prepare for it, my honest suggestion is just liquefy yourself. Go in liquid. This event is the market gets extremely volatile, so you never know what's going to happen. So I think just being safe, getting rid of all your players that you want to sell, and just going into it liquid is probably the best idea for this event. And if the players are very expensive, like they have been in years past, I would expect that the meta players that are not the super high tier, so maybe like Base McDavid and some of the XFactors and stuff, I think they'll actually go up in price because people are going to say, okay, I can't afford these cards anyway. I'm just going to buy cards for my team right now, and those cards will slowly go up in price. So that's just some of the market trends that I expect. But again, it all depends on, first of all, if the event even comes out, and then second of all, if the event is, the prices are reasonable for the MSPs, which most people think they aren't initially, and then they come around to it later on in the week, which is why I think fodder is going to go down and then back up again. But yeah, any closing remarks, Matt? I'm kind of done with what I wanted to say.
So yeah, I mean, if you are trying to make coins on the market, I wouldn't necessarily suggest investing in really much of anything. I think maybe if you want fodder going into the event, pick up some fodder now. If you can get them at good prices, because there will be less people sniping. But yeah, just don't hold players if you can. And if you're trying to buy and sell, do it quickly. Make sure that you're buying cards that'll sell right away, or that you can sell right away, given your time available. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for having me on, Hence, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your input. And guys, let us know in the comments down below if you guys have any suggestions on topics that you'd like us to talk about, because Matt is a top player in this game. He was a hardcore grinder last year. He played the beta for this game a lot, and he was very good at it. He was like at the top level, so he's very knowledgeable about the game. So if you have any like more gameplay related questions, I guess leave those in the comment section below, and maybe in the next time we make a video together, we can look at the comments and kind of go over those, because I'm not the best at the game. I'm more of a market guy, and he's kind of both. So yeah, it'll be good to kind of get that aspect of the game that I'm not really good at and try to put those into my videos to kind of appeal to a wider audience of you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, we went a little more general this time, but yeah, we can go more specified topics moving forward. If you have suggestions, again, comment section's great, but even better than that is the Discord, where you can contact us directly. I'm Cop Eater over there. So
Yeah, exactly.
Discord's great.
Yeah, so that's what I will say before we head out here. I will say that if you want to try to get into contact with me or Matt, the Discord is the place to be. If you just have like a general statement specifically regarding the video, then that's what I would leave in the comments below. But yeah, definitely join the Discord, because it is alive as ever right now, and I'm always on there answering your guys' questions. So is Matt. So if you have any questions about anything market related, gameplay related, life related, anything, just go join the Discord. I promise you it's worth your time. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.